Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over how I'm going to do the alternator change on my 1997 12-valve Cummins. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unplug the batteries. It's pretty much what they tell you to do in any instructional video, or if you're reading your instructions, unplug the batteries. Don't be a dummy like me, because I didn't unplug my batteries last time, and that's why I'm changing the alternator. I blew it up. So, we're gonna take off the positive here and here. Okay, so for my particular terminal setup, I'm gonna need a 13 mil. Just gonna undo this guy right here. Make sure she's away from the terminal. Let's go do this. This one is a 14. And these particular terminals are Cat 5 terminals. Personally, I've really liked this setup, but if these are not tight enough, you will have connection issues. This is not lead, it is, I believe, nickel. But yeah, so tighten the crap out of these things until you can't anymore. Okay, so the next step is to disconnect this guy right here, this harness. I believe these are two 10 mil little nuts right here. I mean, this SMB filter is kind of in the way, but right here, and then there's another one right here. Not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, that disconnects the wiring at least. Alright, to give you guys a better view, I disconnected the SMB air filter. I was wrong. This here is a 9mm, not a 10mm. So we're going to pull that guy off real quick. Okay, now that we got the wiring disconnected, we are going to take this guy off right here. This is actually a welded nut. You're going to want to take it off from the back right here. We're going to do that right now. For the size, it is a 13. We're going to take this ratchet here. Pull this baby off. It's freaking tight. Okay, now that that's loose, my 1/2-inch breaker bar here, we're going to put it on the tensioner, and we're going to get the belt off. Give you guys a better viewpoint on what exactly I was talking about. So this right here is the tensioner, and we're going to slip the 1/2-inch into this slot right here. Kind of hard to see with the radiator and all that stuff in the way, the shroud. So take the 1/2-inch breaker bar, we're going to loosen the tensioner and just slide this belt off real quick, and then we will pull this 13mm bolt out. And at that point, there's one more bolt that we have to get. It's actually right here behind this belt. Probably another 13, but at that point, we should be able to slide this alternator right off. But yeah, you know the drill. There we go. Okay, I was just in the wrong one. Okay. Now we're gonna turn this guy, give it a little push towards the passenger side. That's what's going to loosen it. So, it is a little difficult with one person, but it can be done. There we go. Okay. Now the belt is off, and we're gonna get started on those other bolts. Careful with the fan, because it will cut you. So we need to loosen that bolt right there, but in order to do so, I have to get a wrench on that nut so that they are not spinning simultaneously. Okay, so I believe this is a 15mm nut. We're gonna find out right now. Yep, I was right. Okay, so now that we got that on there, we're going to begin to loosen it up. Okay, I believe we're off now. If not, it's at least loose enough to get it with my finger. Yep, perfect. Alright, she's off. Now we're gonna pull this nut out. She's a long one. They want to fight me a little bit, apparently. There we go. Got her. Okay, common practice, I don't know, at least for me it is. I like to put my bolts and nuts back together so that I don't lose them. And I will put it to the side, like so. Now I'm going to continue taking this guy off, and that should be the last one. Should be. We'll find out. And boom, she's out. Should be able to just pull her out now. Alright, let's get her out. Oh, and that is how you successfully remove an alternator that you successfully blew up. Okay, I'm going to reiterate this just because we want to put things back where they came from so we don't lose them. There's nothing worse than when you're going to put something back together and you can't find what you need. That is super frustrating. So, it doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough, won't walk off. Alright, so now we're gonna load everything up into the wife's car and take a trip to our local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Got everything set up. Negatives, positives, all that good stuff. Fail. That was a quick fail.
Alright, so looks like we're having to drive across town because this particular O'Reilly did not have it, but they do, so it's always something. Let's try again. Got it. Next step is to go get some gas in the car for the wife because we don't want to leave her with nothing. Do the right thing, gentlemen. Fill up your wife's car. Alright, let's get this sucker bolted back in. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go from behind here. Put this guy right here like so. Now again, this is a little difficult by yourself, but it's doable. Alright, so essentially what we're doing here is reversing the process of taking the alternator off. So, tighten up these bolts. Alright, hopefully it's not too windy and you guys can actually hear me, but Okay. Again, we're pretty much just reversing the process. This guy right here, this little ground there goes right there, while this basically falls into place. Is what we're hoping for. Come on, you can do it. Get on there. There we go. All right, and then attach that guy right there. Perfect. So this guy right here, this little nut, goes on here. Do your best not to lose it. I'm gonna put it on with my fingers first, get it finger tight, and then go in with the wrench and tighten it down all the way. That way we don't strip the bolt or cross thread the threads. Just kidding. All right. Take two. There we go. So that's a 10 millimeter. Okay, now we'll get the ratchet. Get her on there just snug. It doesn't have to be too tight. I am known to bust bolts. Alright, there we go. And this guy right here is gonna go right there, just like this. If it will, nope, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And I believe that's probably a 8. Yep, I was right. Tighten her down. The 8 millimeter. Snug. I'm gonna get this one down here. Now with these, I'm using this little socket just because it was the closest thing I can grab, but you will need a deep socket. So it looks like I'm getting to the end here. Wait, put that back where it came from. Put that thing back where it came from. Or so help me, so help me. Okay, deep socket. There we go. Much better. Drop your socket, you know, makes for good practice. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go get that real quick. Okay, pick the socket back up. Tighten it down again. Snug, not too tight. We don't want to bust it off. We also don't want it coming loose. And good. Now, I believe this guy is going to be a 9, and I am right. So, I'm going to put this guy on right here. And good. All right. Now, we're gonna put the belt back on. Okay, so now we're going to remove this crap, put it to the side, and then we're going to take the breaker bar and loosen the tensioner. Again, if you have a friend, it's always easier, but you can do it yourself. I've done this a couple times, so my truck seems to eat alternators for breakfast. I'm not sure why, but hey. Well, actually, this last one, I know why, because I blew it up. Be very careful not to pinch your fingers. I'm trying to do this without doing that, and without messing up my belt here. Get a better position here. we go. And she's on. I believe she's on the right way too, so I just double check here. Yep. Cool. Let's see if she starts. You! Yeah, buddy. And that is how you successfully change an alternator.